this past October for the university to embrace the collective idea in Canada of reconciliation, which is increasingly important and is in fact urgent in our own time. The research activity from Gordon Downing to the announcement of the new Commission's report has galvanized and will continue to galvanize on both sides the Canadian public towards issues of reconciliation. So I'd like to turn it over to Sean Hoofer, I hope I'm saying that right, to introduce the work that you're doing and to introduce our book.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sean, and I'm from Walpole First Nation. It's about 2 hours south of here. I work at Washington University in Indigenous Services. We have cultural and academic supports for our Native students. There's approximately 400 Indigenous students that attend Washington that self-identify. That means they come forward and say that they're Indigenous, they declare it to us. So we have a learning center for them on campus. It has computers. We also have cultural supports, workshops. We also have visiting elders for our students. So the elders are there for support in case the students have any issues with pretty much anything, but some of the issues that they do have is with identity, cultural things, personal things. And so they're there for them. And one of our elders that visits us regularly is Ms. Liz Acclaimed, and she's here today. There's Liz there, who's Liz. And I'd like to introduce Liz, and she's going to say a few words to you. And also, I just wanted to let you know who we do our events. We look to acknowledge the territory, and I believe Liz will be doing that. But if you want to grab one of the view of South by table back there, we do have a little cultural kit in the front that identifies the territories that we're here in the London area. So if you could grab one, you can take one home with you. And when you have people over, sort of events yourself, you can acknowledge the territory. And it doesn't have to be Indigenous people there when you do it. You can do it just out of respect for the places where we're here today. So if you actually have any questions, I'll be in the back. And usually, Liz, thank you for coming.
For allowing me to come here and to share about acknowledging our relatives that were here way before us. And that is my grandparents. My grandfather is Nishnaabeg, and he's from the Chippewa Thames community. And my mother is one of the Shawnee people of the Standing Stone of Oneida, and they are the ones that are from this territory. So I acknowledge my relatives, my ancestors that were here, and who prayed and did ceremony for the people in this territory. I had my bundle, but I did not bring it out. And the reason not is because I need to respect my relatives. I need to respect my grandparents. I need to respect where I have come from. I need to respect what has happened to my people. And I say that with a great deal of respect and love and kindness. Because I brought my drum, I brought my medicines, because that's usually what I do when I go open. But because there is alcohol here, I cannot do that. I need to honor who I am as Nistit Pumquet. I need to honor that as myself, as a mother, as a grandmother, as a great-grandmother. That I cannot bring my medicines out when there is alcohol present. So I say that with a great deal of love and respect for my relatives in all four directions. And so with that thought and with that understanding, I welcome you to this territory. And I say me much for who's coming and listening to these people who are coming to share their talent through their voices with music. And that is something that we all have in common, is music. And the power of that music that feeds the heart, the mind, the body, and the spirit. And I also say Yamagoa to all of the grandmothers and grandfathers out there in all four directions. And I especially put that intent up to my relatives in the South that are fighting to protect the water. And water not every one of us. It is water that comes first before any one of us has come to this earth. So I acknowledge all of those water protectors and also for what's happening even in this territory. And it's true what the people are saying. We cannot drink oil. And we can live without food for a long time, but none of us can live without water. And so out of that respect for all of those women that are walking for water, and for all of those grandmothers and those aunties and those young ones, those women that are learning, that we as women are responsible for water. All women, all 4 nations of women, the black race, the white race, the yellow race, and the red race, we as women are the ones that need to stand up for that water, because that is what sustains life. So with that thought and with that understanding, I'm still willing to share a song, and I think it's important and to honor these people that are coming here to share their voices, and to honor this young woman that has come from her territory, to come and to be here to share her gifts and her talents that God Creator has given her. And so I say be much for her. So I would ask each and every one of you to sit with your feet flat on the floor and with your hands out like this. Because we have no sad songs. All of our songs are about life. All of our songs are about feeding our heart, our mind, our body, and our spirit, so that we can be connected to all of creation. That is always the intent of our music and our songs. And the song talks about reminding us to live a good life. And so I would ask you to think about that in your own heart, in your own mind, in your own being. Think about what it is that you're grateful for in your life. You know, we forget about being grateful for the ability to see, to talk, to use our hands, to walk, for our families, for our partners, for our children, our grandchildren, for all of those people that are in our life that show that love and that respect and that care. Yeah, Jesus, Yahweh, Yahweh, ho, Yahweh, 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 ho. What that song talks about is the son, Jesus, the one in the sky. And my youngest son, his name is Jesus. My youngest son has no English name. He only has Nishnaabeg name. So also when I sing that song, I sing that for him. The other part of that is the grandfathers reminding us to live a good life. The grandmothers reminding us to live a good life. Oh, that air that brings the medicine to the people. That reminds us about happens to the children happens to the men. What happens to the men happens to all of mankind. So I say me much to all of those ones that taught me about who I am, as Mr. Conway and as Leanne Betasamosake. And I give thanks and acknowledge all of those men and those women that stood me up so I could learn who I am. Because I didn't grow up learning who I am, I had to go find out. And so I just want to plant that seed with you, and if anything, is always remind yourselves each and every day to give thanks for what it is that you have and for the earth that we walk on. Because we do not honor her, we do not take care of her. It's all of our responsibility for the next 7 generations that are walking behind us. Because I, for one, am very fearful. Is there going to be clean water for my great-grandbabies, for my grandchildren's children? Are they going to have earth where they can go find food? Are they going to have clean air? That is up to all of us to wake up. What is it that we're going to leave these babies? And that is true and that is real, no matter what nation that we come from. And I pray each and every day that I wake up in the morning, help us wake up all of mankind. Because all the money in the world, if we don't have water, it's not going to save our lives. But we need to wake each other up, we need to acknowledge each other. We need to use our voices with integrity and kindness and wake each other up and be mindful about what it is that we're doing. And when we look at our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren, we need to really look at them. What is it that we are leaving our babies? And so I say, me much in yellow gold for allowing me to share that, because I don't know how not to share unless it comes from here. And I say, me much in yellow for having me here.
Thank you very much. I just have some remarks to introduce our act tonight. Leanne Simpson is a novelist, poet, musician, and academic. She's a member of the Untold First Nation. Leanne Simpson was named the inaugural Artist of the Charles Taylor Emerging Writer in 2014, and that same year was also the nominee for the National Magazine Award. She first published fiction and poetry in Walrus, Art Poetry, Art Poetry Magazine, Geist, and Kimawan. Her first book of short stories and poetry, Islands of Decolonial Love, was nominated for a Relit Award in 2014. Besides her career in writing and teaching, Leanne Simpson is a musician and has signed with RPM, the first Indigenous contemporary music label, and will release a new album, Flight, this year, which is now out. This music performance combines storytelling, songwriting, and collaboration with musicians to create unique spoken word soundscapes. Leanne holds a PhD from the University of Manitoba and is lectured at universities across Canada. The Native American Indigenous Studies Association awarded her the Stock Gold Paper of 2014 for land pedagogy. Flight, which we're going to hear some tonight, I imagine, is a new album of story songs from acclaimed artists with her band. Thank you for joining us, all of you. Effortlessly interweaving Simpson's complex poetics and multi-layered stories of the land, spirit, and body, lush, acoustic, electronic, arrangements. Flight claims a unique space in contemporary Indigenous music and performance. The album is haunting, powerful, and is a hybrid of words, songs, and perspectives. Please join me in welcoming Leanne Simpson and her band.
Ani Kinawaya, it's so wonderful to see all of you here tonight. Miigwech, Liz, for that fantastic welcome to the territory and for reminding us about the water. We're going to play some songs from our new album called Flight, which came out at the end of September. And the first song is called Road Salt, and it's about a deer that got addicted to road salt. sweating for one more hit before I come out as a fake. Road salt makes me twitch and more comfortable in my skin. On deck in love without trust. I assume that means she's kin.
Dawn gets eaten by morning, one lick turns into three. On deck sits and surveys, I know she can't lie to me.
Licking the road is its own humiliation, just like hostages first trap themselves. On deck's a bird on a wire, like I'm a deer on nobody's shelf. This is how to die in a war. They insist it doesn't exist. On deck never has the whites of my eyes. Unasked questions, unsurveyed cysts.
Dawn gets eaten by morning, one lick turns into three. On deck sits and surveys, I know she can't lie to me.
The snow will drown without suffering. The road salt still managing dread fear. On deck hacking overhead until we're mid-road again next year. Dawn gets eaten by morning. One lick turns into three. On deck just sits and surveys. I know she can't lie to me.
Dawn gets eaten by morning, one lick turns into three. On deck sits and surveys, I know she can't lie to me. Dawn gets eaten by morning, one lick turns into three. On deck sits and surveys, I know she can't lie to me.
I live in Peterborough, Ontario, and a few years ago in the newspaper there was an article that was claiming that they found the oldest maple tree in the world. And some scientists from the Ministry of Natural Resources went out to the forest and they did a core of this tree, and they estimated, well, the core said it was about 350 years old, but they only got 2/3 of the way through. So they estimated that it was about 500 years old. And it's in a park, in a wooded area in Peterborough. And so I went to visit the oldest tree in the world, and I fell in love with it, and I wrote it a love song. what I'm breathing. I like you because you never talk too loud. You breathe it out, I breathe it in. I like you because you hold this all together with the parts I can't see. You breathe it out, I breathe it in. You, 11 times my age. Me, draped in clouds of youth. I think we're the same. I think I know what you've seen, but it's not true. I don't know. I don't. I don't know how to say this without embarrassing you, but I do know that I believe in saying things. I do know that I believe in the telling. Your wrinkled gray skin is gorgeous, and I hope you don't know what's happening. This next piece is from my first album, which is also a book called Islands of Decolonial Love, and it's about ice fishing. And I think ice fishing was something that I took for granted where I live every year, until last year when the lake didn't freeze and we couldn't go. So here's hoping winter comes this year. I'm super lucky to be playing with my sister, Michi Simpson, who just screwed up. She's a Toronto-based singer-songwriter. She's got a new album coming out called Breakwall. I'm also super lucky to be playing with the amazing Cree cellist Chris Dirksen, whose current album is Orchestral Powwow, and you should go check that out if you haven't. We've also got Nick Ferrio from Peterborough, Ontario on the lap steel and the guitar, and Gracia Lees also from Peterborough on the keys. Of Shimong. The wind is water falling over my frame, borrowing the parts I can't says to me he wants to die really slowly so he doesn't miss anything. I say, I'm not that brave. I want to miss everything. The ice wind is singing a single suspended note with no line, no phrasing, and a benevolent intensity. He tells me he wants a slow, methodic retreat into the background. In his next breath, he wants to fight like hell till the end of everything. The hole in the ice is healing into slush, and the line is starting to freeze. I make my inside wind and the outside breath the same temperature. He's reading the signs and forecasting tomorrow. I'm taking inventory of unasked questions, wondering which holds the most regret. He gets into the truck and starts it. He tells me to get in. I say I'll walk. He nods, starts the truck, and stops to wait until I turn towards the shore. This next song is from Flight, and it's called Caribou Ghosts and Untold Stories, and it's going out to all the water protectors in South Dakota right now. And all the water protectors in the room. Refuse to fight. We are hyped up on aesthetics and tripped up by real life. We don't have time to feel these feelings, so we'll save that for another day. We don't plan for the win because we always lose anyway. Caribou ghosts and untold stories, bad timing and smashed hearts, train tracks, six-pack, riff-raff, deadening regret, a collection of old parts. We get these tiny gifts of tremendous, unclouded by past dues. We get these tiny moments, but there's never enough glue. So we'll tie ourselves together with bungee cords, luck, bring the fish, the fire, the new knife. Catharsis is still elusive, so we'll file that for another day. Meet me at the underpass. Rebellion is on her way. Train tracks, six-pack, riff-raff. Meet me at the underpass. Rebellion, rebellion, rebellion is on her way. Love is on her way. Meet me at the underpass. So I'm Michi Saagiig Nishnaabeg, and our territory is the North Shore of Lake Ontario, which we call Chinabish. And a couple of hundred years ago, there was a resident population of salmon in Lake Ontario that was closely related to the Atlantic salmon, but it was different. It was a different nation. And those salmon traveled up each year through the rivers and the lakes, north of Peterborough to Stony Lake. And the last, they were extirpated from Lake Ontario in the early 1800s. And so, as a result of the construction of the Trans-Severn Waterway. And so one day, I was using my imagination, and I was imagining that the Trans-Severn Waterway system was gone, and that I was the first salmon coming back up through the Otonabee River up to Stony Lake. And so this piece is also from Islands of Decolonial Love. And that's what it's about. Bojo, Odinabe, Shke, Majamegos, Indigenous. It's been a long time. Oh, Odinabe, oh, Odinabe. It's this way. I can feel my lateral line pulling forward. Let me taste you. Oh, Odinabe, that feels good on my gills. My Kopade told her daughter about that feeling. My great-grandmother told her daughter. My Kukum told her daughter. And my Dodom told me. It was better than they said. I've never felt like this. This place is perfect. It's so easy here. Oa, Odinabe, 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 Odinabe. Bubbling, beating, birthing, breathing, bubbling, beating, birthing, breathing, bubbling, beating, birthing, breathing, bubbling. strong like those old ones who fasted and swam up here every year. This is my first time. There's more waiting at Shinabish. There's more waiting at the mouth. Shinabish, Sakateachuan, Pimidosh Kodeyang, Odanabe, Kichigaming, Atikmik Sagigan, Asin Sagigan, Asin Sagigan, Atikmik Sagigan, Odanabe, Kichigaming, Pimidosh Kodeyang, Sakateachuan, Shinabish. You're quicker than I thought. Is Zizak still here? An old one told me about Zizak, land of Zizak, land of Megaze, they said. We're bringing Pimize, we're bringing all the ones that are gone. Don't worry, Odanabe, your wounds from the lift locks, from the dams, they'll heal now they're gone. It's over now. You can cry now. It's over now. We're all going to be okay. They're gone. And there's more of us waiting to be born. This is called How to Steal a Canoe. Should you ever be in a position where it's an appropriate thing to do, a canoe? Is barefoot on the cement floor, singing to a warehouse of stolen canoes, bruised bodies, dry skin, hurt ribs, dehydrated rage. Ake Wednesday says, it's canoe gel. The white skin of a tree is for slicing and feeling and peeling and rolling and cutting and sewing and pitching and floating and traveling. Ake Wednesday says, oh, you're so proud of your collection of Indians. Good job, Shaganash. Good job. Quiet. She's praying to those old ones by dipping her fingers into a plastic bottle of water and rubbing the drops on the spine of each canoe. Soft words, wet fingers, wet backs. Akawenze and Kwe are looking each canoe in the eye. One whispers back, "Take the young one and run." Kwe looks at Akawenze. Akawenze takes the sage over to the security guard and teaches him how to smudge the canoe bodies. Fake cop is basking in guilt-free importance. Kwe takes her off the rack and onto her shoulders. She puts her in the flatbed and drives to Shimong. She pulls her out into the middle of the lake and sinks her with 7 stones, just enough to fill her with lake and suspend her in wet. Kwe sings the song and she sings back. Kwe sings the song and she sings back. This is called These Two, and it's about eagles. Two clandestine eagles find you in front of this lineup, signing things and pretending nice, wearing professionalism like it's a Halloween costume. And the leading one comes in from behind you and the tip of her wing grazes the small of your back in an oval that's method and rhythm like it's all you'll ever have, and she's not going to waste 1 second of it. Then the second one comes in on a sharper angle and tight circles your form, starting at your roots, rising and then falling. Her feathers are the wind on the hairs of your skin, and she's flying conical spirals up past your head and then down again, brushing your heels, the backs of your knees, the cracks on your lips. All the while the first one's wing is whispering to the skin of your lower back, while her beak is sucking the burning panic from the place you keep it hidden behind the sorrow in your breast's bone. The lyrics from this album are being published in a book of short stories and poetry about this accident of being lost that's coming out from the House of Anansi Press in April. And this track is called This Accident of Being Lost, so this is the title track from the book. Listen to the hesitant beat. Sit at the edge of the woods. Shape-shift around the defense. Ban the word should. Follow that bluebird. Past the smoke and contraband. My frightened lower back. A witness on unkept promised land. Hide under Mindamoya's skirt. Wrap swamp tea around your chest. Fill your empty with smoked meat. Vomit this fucking mess. Weave spruce at your fix. Forget missed shots and meat boys. Tie these 7 pieces of heart. Use whiskey as your decoy. Play by the skin of old teeth. The ritual of giving thanks. Laughing hearts and feeding fires, compasses and riverbeds.
sit here past late. The stars don't care at what cost. You breathe while I whisper a song. This accident of being lost. I'm just gonna sit here past late. The stars don't care at what cost. You breathe while I whisper a song. This accident of being lost.
I want to thank WordFest for having us. It's so nice to be able to bring music, the literary festival. So let's give them a hand for being so creative and awesome. We have 2 more tracks. This next track is called Laughing Heart, and it's a poem by a poet you might have heard of, Bukowski. But he's kind of a jerk in real life, kind of a misogynist and kind of a jerk. So I edited a little bit, and I didn't ask him, but I think it's okay. Your life is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. Beyond the watch, there is light somewhere. It may not be much light, but it beats the darkness. Beyond the watch, the antes will offer you chances. Know them. Take them. Your life is your life. Know it while you have it. You are marvelous. The ancestors wait to delight in you. You are marvelous. The ancestors wait to delight in you. Well, this is our last song. It's a song called Leaks. It's from Islands of Decolonial Love. And I want to thank you. You've been a fantastic, attentive, quiet audience. It's been really nice to play songs for you. This song has a bit of a story to it. A few years ago, in May, my kids and I and an elder were out picking wild leeks north of Peterborough, north of Curve Lake First Nation, and we ran into a really racist man who yelled at us. And my daughter was 5 at the time, and she was riding for the first time in the elder's car, and this was her first sort of experience with the evilness of the world. And so he pulled over on the side of the road after this happened, and he brought her back to me, this sort of heap of crying girl in his arms. And she was so upset because I think that she didn't know that this kind of hate existed in the world. And so I felt really badly as a parent that I hadn't been able to protect her from that, and that I didn't use my words. And so in the months that followed, I was trying to figure out what to do. And I was trying to talk to her about it because I wanted her to know that she hadn't done anything wrong, and that she was good and beautiful the way she was. But every time I went to talk to her about it, she would burst into tears. So I was talking to my friend Sarah Williamson, who is a Korean Nishnaabeg singer-songwriter in Peterborough, and she suggested that I asked her, I don't know how to help Minaway deal with this, and she said, maybe you should deal with it first. And I was like, what? What do I have to deal with? So I said, I don't know how to deal with it. And she said, well, you're a writer, why don't you write something? So I wrote this poem, and I wrote it to Minaway, my daughter, and I sent it to Tara, and Tara sent a song back. And so we performed this song for a little while around Peterborough and Toronto. And then Cara Mumford, who's a Métis filmmaker, approached us, and she asked us if she could make a music video of the song. And so we said, sure. And then a few weeks later, she called and she asked if my daughter would dance in the film. And so I asked Minaway if she wanted to dance. And she was torn because she really wanted to be in a movie, but she didn't think that my poems were very cool. Eventually, the desire to be in a movie won out. And about a year later, I went with this group of Indigenous women artists, and we went back and we picked leeks and we filmed the music video. And over the course of making the video and the song, they were able to talk to Minaway, and she was able to get over the shame of the initial incident. So this is called Leeks. Dirt roads, open windows, beautiful one, too perfect for this world. The immediacy of mosquitoes, humidity, choking breath, my beautiful singing bird. 5-year-old Gichidakwe, crying silent, petrified tears in the back seat until the dam finally bursts. You are the breath over the ice on the lake. You are the one the grandmother sings to through the rapids. You are the saved seeds of allies. You are the space between embraces. She's always going to remember this. You are rebellion, resistance, imagination. Her body's going to remember. You are dug-up roads, 27-day standoffs, the foil of industry prospectors. She can't speak about it for a year, which is 1/6 of her life. There's a story hidden in the skin of the forest. Use them as flint, fodder, love songs, medicines. You are from a place of unflinching power, the holder of our stories, the one who speaks up. The chance for spoken up words drowned in ambush. You are not a vessel for white settler shame, even if I am the housing that's failed you.